Shaman, his ability to punch through lines, you know, in a particular place to focus his pressure on lines is somewhat diminished because he doesn't have those same really, really useful buffs that he can put on the Black Orcs, you know, with the plus melee attack, with the plus weapon damage, that can help them just crush through forces with great rapidity. Not going to be the case this time around because, again, that Shaman is not available.
No, which is unfortunate, but I mean, Azak can still do his thing though, because he does actually cause terror and fear. So he might be able to just route aside quickly if he engages, potentially.
Fair. Oh, this time we'll certainly see Azak probably get a little more shots off on the Demigryphs as far as the Fates of Buna are concerned. But, you know, again, we'll see in a good time Azak kind of swing around the back here, trying to be careful, maybe trying to avoid that Light Wizard off on the other flank.
Yep. Moving up. And he's actually a lot more spread out now than before, I think.
Yeah, he certainly is. Yeah, definitely a much more balanced kind of approach to this. Much more likely that he's going to get a surround with this kind of deployment. Also, as a note, Letzaro says, props for the players for replaying. Yeah, definitely props to both of these players for replaying. Avocadius for understanding, of course. And, you know, Achilles having the balls for, you know, requesting that rematch. Good things, guys. This is what we want. This is the kind of play we want to see.
I'd like, I mean, really lots of props to Avocadius.
Yeah.
Because he technically didn't have to accept the rematch, but he was honorable and he did it.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, good, very, very good call on Avocadius in doing that. Very happy to see it, very happy to see it. Looks like these Goblin Warfighters are going to do the exact same thing they were doing before, actually in the exact same position they were before as well, shooting the same handgunners who were also in the same position that they were before. But the handgunners are going to turn around here.
Ro4 Biggins again dying on that flank, same thing.
There's a replay of the situation. It looks like these guys really do want a rematch. They're not going to change up their strategy here. They're going to do the exact same goddamn thing once again and see how it works a second time around. Again, very honorable players both for going all the way up to the battle plan, being exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bit weird though that you'd be forced into doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's rather odd, to be sure.
Yeah.
But it is, I mean, the battle is shaping up very similarly right now. Most of the Black Orcs on a single flank, you know, we don't have as much action over here along the kind of active action along the back with these Goblin Wolf Riders, but probably for the best, as the last time he tried that, he actually got pounded by that Light Wizard. But again, the Light Wizard actually far away now, so no Net of Ammontok available.
Okay,
actually tried to.
Here.
Yeah, dude, looks like he tried to actually Net of Ammontok a blank piece of land there, which is unfortunate because he did not catch anybody, that is for sure.
Azak moving up, and now he's going back. The Buna on the Greatswords.
Yeah, it looks like the Buna on the Greatswords will go off. A good choice for the fate of Buna here. Demigryph's also a fantastic choice. By the way, Demigryph's crawling up the back here, certainly going to be able to get a rear charge in on these Black Orcs. And the Black Orcs still coming in from the same side once again, not interested in going for this around, but instead is going to concentrate all of his forces on one flank, all of his archers, all of his Wolf Riders, as well as the Black Orcs.
We have the handgunners routing as well, and Azak moving up. He might go for a Buna on those demis, but we don't see it. Oh, nice magic missile, but it does miss, however, unfortunately for Empire.
This Light Wizard, this Light Wizard really should get a different job, man. Maybe he should be a Celestial Wizard where you don't have to worry about magic missiles, because he has not hit shit in 2 games. Very surprising at that as well. By the way, the Spearmen were absolutely... Look at this giant just running through the routed units, managing to get right into the handgunners there. Really what the handgunners are not into right now. They're going to back up and try to get a couple more shots on the giant before he wreaks too much havoc in the back. But a nice Net of Ammontok going up here up top.
Yeah, he's stopping both the Black Orcs and the Ro4 Biggins from running away, so those Black Orcs could potentially get rear charged. But the Buna goes off on the Demigryphs, which really is going to take them off the field. They have such little HP right now. Azak could start engaging. He could go for a rear charge onto the Spearmen or something and could easily get rid of them, but he's not doing it.
Yeah, he certainly could. He certainly could. I mean, these handgunners, by the way, still doing an atrocious, heinous amounts of damage against this giant here. We see most of the cavalry units actually just waiting out here and actually forcing Avocadius to keep these spearmen here. He doesn't want the spearmen to be here right now. He wants these spearmen to be helping in other fights, to making sure that they don't break. But instead, he has to keep them waiting. But instead, actually, not watching is Achilles, and he gets charged by spearmen. Goblins getting charged by spearmen, not often seen.
Yeah, but even though he makes a mistake there, Azak on Skull check comes in. Both of these handgunners here are in trouble. They're engaged by Azak and the Ro4 Biggins. However, we have Spearmen supporting 2 units coming in, and they're gonna get rid of that Orc Boy Biggin, and Azag gets out safely.
Yep, he certainly does. He certainly does. It looks like this fight up top here, where the net of Amentok came down, actually had the Light Wizard stuck inside it as well. He is just about to die. Another Fate of Buna going off on these Demigryphs. A nice Fate of Buna. And of course, the Handgunners here, sneaky, actually helping out quite a lot with that extra firepower up against the Orcs.
And as you mentioned, that Fate of Buna was so important on the Demigryphs. Both of these Demigryphs are going to be out of the field soon, and they're just dying against that Orc Boy Biggin and Black Orc supporting. That Black Orc there is doing really a lot of work. It's only got 6 kills, but it's going to be able to rout all 4 of these units right now.
It definitely will, and you know, we're certainly, I mean, at least what it's doing is it's supporting the damage that these Orc Boy Biggins are pumping out. And you know, the fact that he has not lost a lot of health on these Black Orcs is especially important, as many of these Empire troops are down relatively low. So even if Empire does somehow, by some miracle, manage to clean up this fight right here, which it is currently actively losing, they are still going to have an entire unit of Black Orc to deal with, who are very, very difficult to deal with a bunch of depleted units.
Yeah, and we see some Goblin Wolf Riders going for a rear charge on the Great Swords. Not able to rout them because, of course, it's not like they're Orc Boy Biggins or anything. So Goblin Wolf Riders rear charging, they don't really have the punch necessary to rout units such as Great Swords, but they will certainly do something. It's not a completely useless charge, but now they're routing off the field. Perhaps he could have kept them for even later to charge into those handgunners that came back.
Yeah, I think that might have been a good option, but you know, kind of like you said, every little bit counts, and you know, every time you get an opportunity to rear charge, even if it is only with goblins, you should certainly take it, because every little bit counts. And of course, goblins having such low morale will instantly run away and not take very much damage for, you know, committing to the charge.
Azag coming in with his tether, he might be able to rout a lot of these units if he engages, but he's going straight for Avocadius' general.
Hold the line actually going off. Very good timing there, just as the Wyvern tries to come down to assault. Not a lot of health left on that general, though. Some spearmen going to have to be pulled out to support him against the fight, against Azag over here. But the Black Orcs have broken the spears up at the top. The handgunner is not able to do damage fast enough to the Black Orcs to hold them off. But another unit of reserve spears. Where are these reserve spears coming for Avocadius? Is he just making them, like, where? Are they just popping out of the ground? Where are they coming from?
I don't know, but Azag just got accused again. He's on very, very low HP, so the Witch Hunter shooting it or Handgunner shooting it might actually finish him off, but which is smart what Achilles is doing right now. I mean, he's running away, which is going to be very important, because if Azag were to die, a lot of his units might just chain route right now.
Yeah, certainly. And also, this fight is getting really, really close, by the way. These handgunners over here have made their money back and more, shooting into the backs of these Black Orcs, allowing these spearmen to have half a chance in the battle. Over here, we see it's dicey as hell. I mean, Azag is going to need to get into this battle, as it is a barely winnable fight if Azag decides to come in. And if he kills his Empire General, it will be absolutely huge, as this is tight, guys. A tight fight on this flank.
Yeah, Bob was popped, so I think Empire is going to chain route. There we go. A lot of these spearmen routing off the field. Great swords as well. This is very, very close, but the Witch Hunter is still alive. If the Witch Hunter targets Azag, the Wyvern, we could see Empire still taking this. It's not completely over, but he was kiting away. He was not actually shooting.
Yeah, we can certainly, if Azag dies, we can certainly see a victory for the Empire here. It's a dangerous game that Empire is playing, of course, but they do have the handgunners, and handgunners are so useful in these late game situations. They do so much morale damage. They have decent range, and they do good damage against armored units that right now is being used by Agony Achilles here.
And we have this Goblin Wolf Rider over here, which came back for Achilles. It could be sent around to go for the handgunners if necessary, and in fact he should be going right now with it, because he might potentially just rout all of the handgunners with a single Goblin Wolf Rider, but he's actually chasing the Witch Hunter instead. We'll see how that works.
And Achilles did manage to kill Azag before Azag could kill the Empire General, though, which is going to be very tough for the Orcs to recover. Already most of them shaking, some of them breaking already. Of course, the Goblin Wolf Riders coming in, they are shaken. If they take even a single hit from anything, they will probably end up running here. I'm not sure if the decision to run these greatswords in here is the right one. Probably should wait for the rest of the handgunners to come over, just so they don't risk losing troops and risking that chain shatter.
Yeah, but I mean, he wanted to keep his generals alive for as long as possible, I suppose, and he was trying to hold those units off with the greatsword. But now his general might die. No, he is actually probably gonna rout off these goblin warriors. No, he does not. He
He
is
does.
routed.
He does. He is routed. He is not quite shattered yet. Remains to be seen whether that will happen. But he only has 176 health, so even the likes of these Goblin Wolf Riders will be able to kill them.
Yeah, handgunner's still alive and are getting some really nice flanking shots onto the black orcs.
Yeah, they really, really are. I mean, I have to say here that, these handgunners, them routing off the field off into this kind of random corner was the best thing that could have happened for these handgunners because they got out of the fight, they were ignored, and because they were ignored, just look at the punishment that they're laying down on these black orcs.
Yeah, Witch Hunter running away using Slippery, so he's quite fast. And now he's turning around, he's going to fire these black orcs, and now they are routed. This should be game.
That is it, yeah, and the Goblins also shattering as well. My God, what a close game, guys. What a damn close game.
Whew. It was nice that they replayed.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that they did.
Yes.
It kind of came out in the way that we saw the first game come out, but this was so much better of a battle. I mean, both players played incredibly well, but Avocadius barely pulling it out. Do you have any key factors, do you think?
Well, if Azag didn't die there at the end, it would have been much better for Achilles. He should have just played it safe with Azag and not been around where the Witch Hunter was. Because the Witch Hunter in the late game, like one accuse could finish off Azag, and it happened. So goodbye Azag. That was probably the point in the game which basically things changed. That's what turned the tide.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think I will also. I really think, the central point of this game was the fact that Azag had died. If Azag had not died, it definitely would have gone differently here, as, you wouldn't seen that chain shatter. But I think, and also, early on in the game, and Achilles' play, I think, was on point as well. He was not doing badly. His tactic to kind of rush into there, break one unit, and then send his giant in at the handgunners worked damn well. He got the handgunners routed, and they ran away. I think the problem is that he didn't follow up on the handgunners, and you saw those wolf riders just to the southern side of the box, just standing there for ages, keeping on one hand, keeping the spearmen in place, right? And that was a good move. But on the other hand, they allowed those handgunners to come back, and the handgunners is what won the game for Avocadius here. And they could have been so easily taken care of by just one unit of Wolf Riders.
The Wolf Riders were chasing the wrong unit. I mean, you kind of have to stop the Witch Hunter, but at the same time, if you chase the Witch Hunter, you have handgunners shooting you in the back, so that is another problem that you have to take care of. And I mean, actually, I think Azag alone could have finished off those handgunners without dying, I think. Because they were all very low, they were basically could be routed thanks to the terror of Azag's Skullmuncher.
Yep, no, precisely, man. And there's only one thing that I think that you have to recognize when you're trying to assault handgunners, especially as any kind of flying unit, is that handgunners stagger the living shit out of flying guys. And so I just suspect, too, that Azag, with the health that he had before he got accused twice in a row, I think he certainly would have been able to take those handgunners out. But after he gets to a quarter health, it's dangerous, going up against things like handgunners with a flying unit.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think those handgunners would have finished him off. They were all way too low.
They were on about a third health each, to be sure.
So yeah, nice game.
Yeah, it was a damn good. What is around here for? Who do you want to do first?
I suppose Achilles, so Chaos.
Go for it. What does he got?
Okay, he has the good old Colic. Look at all that lightning around him. Pretty cool stuff. And we see an Exalted Hero as well. Right over here. Pretty nice. Don't see it too often. Also, it's on a Manticore.
I do like that. I like seeing the Manticore Exalted Hero. Very cool choice.
Up front, we see, looks like 4 of these Chaos Marauders. A Chaos Spawn, 3 Chaos Giants, and a Chaos Knight with lances. So I like this build a lot, actually.
Yeah, this looks like a pretty damn solid build. I mean, if I had one worry, it would be the kind of, what is the word for it? The staying power of these Marauders, I think, is a little bit in question. But with the Giants, they may indeed be okay. What do we have here for Avocadius? Avocadius has a kind of a variation on the Death Star build being brought here. So he does have a single Lord Manfred on a Barded Nightmare down at the bottom here, leading his army. Also a single White King, great, really eats up Invocations of the Heck very, very effectively. And also tanks a huge amount of damage. Very good in these Death Star engagements. Looks like he actually has too many Death Stars with White Kings for tanking. One on each side, each composed of 2 Cryptors, a Karen Wraith, and a White King. So that's a total of 4 Cryptors, of course, 2 Karen Wraiths and 2 White Kings. And last but not least, the final units being offered here by our Vampire Counts player is a single unit of Blood Knights to take care of any large, any cavalry that Chaos might be bringing, as well as 2 units of zombies just for chaff, just with that extra bit of money.
Okay, here comes the engagement. Chaos Marauders into zombies. Well, at least Marauders can beat the zombies. So
Yeah.
that's one engagement they can win.
That they certainly can win that engagement, of course. Not if they get charged in the rear, though. Some of the Marauders actually moving back, probably a decent bet there. The Chaos Giants, all 3 of them, just charging into this combat. Already, you can tell right now, this is going to be tough as hell to take care of. These Giants next to each other, supporting each other, with the addition of Kolek as well, is going to be absolutely just... It's going to be a tragic experience to as for the Empire troops here, or for the Vampire Counts troops.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see Kolek against the Blood Knights, though, I think, to finish them off, but this could work as well. Sure.
I mean, he's just doing what he wants, man. He's going to take down Manfred. He knows exactly who the biggest problem on the field of battle is going to be, and it's going to be Manfred casting invocations of Nehek on his own troops to allow them to survive.
I don't know about that. Kolek is moving very far. Oh, that was a nice lightning strike by Kolek.
That certainly was. Actually, a very good amount of damage on that Exalted Hero done by these Cryptors here. Those Exalted Heroes will likely die very, very soon because of it.
That Blood Knight on the left flank of BC, they got down so fast, but we have a hack on them, so now they're gonna gain models, they're gonna gain HP, so
Yeah,
they're fine. Kolek is getting chased, by the way.
Yeah, he is getting chased. And it looks like these Blood Knights will probably gain at very near full health by the time that Invocation of Nehek is done. The Chaos Exalted Hero on the Manticore barely manages to get away, but how is this line battle forming up? Looks like Chaos is winning a little, not really. I mean, Chaos is losing some, winning the Giant battle to be sure, but this battle is not going in Chaos's favor, and of course the Karen Rays will not die to Marauders and will soon be able to jump into this Giant combat.
Yeah, Kolek was a little bit too aggressive, so he's already on half HP. That's not what he wants to do. And now we see Blood Knights charging into the Chaos Knights with lances. Bye-bye, Chaos Knights.
Manfred, by the way, a misplay with Manfred right here. Actually micros directly into the middle of those 3 Giants. They get 1 free swing off, but he is going to be able to escape now. Going to try to get out of there. Kolek, though, incredibly fast. Look at those swings of his mace, man. Going to be able to 2 shots now down to Manfred. Manfred without a lot of health, but the Invocation of Nehek will certainly allow him to regen the rest of that back.
Yeah, he's gonna kite away now. Kolek cannot finish him off, but with that Nehek is so strong. And look at all these Cryptors. They're about to jump into this battle. They're gonna be pretty insane.
Yeah, and most of them full health, except for one, all of them at full health. So, I mean, we see here, we talked a little bit about the quality of troops that are kind of milling around the feet of your Giants being an important part of the Giant build, and why Chaos Marauders they just don't hold long enough. Now that these Giants are totally isolated, yeah, they are powerful next to each other. These 3 will still kill a hell of a lot, but because they have no foot troops, they will very quickly start routing, as we can see this Giant already doing so.
Yeah, I mean, it's shaken, it's not wavering quite yet, but its morale is definitely dropping really fast, and they're also taking massive damage because they are surrounded by the Vampire Counts.
Yeah, so they are, and again, without any foot troops to take up a little bit, to absorb a little bit of that damage, they are going to struggle. But hey, don't let that think that this might not be a successful venture here. Giant's still doing huge amounts of damage.
Kolek running away because the White King is chasing him, and also Manfred on his horse. And ooh, we're gonna have an ability popped on the White King.
Nehek is popped on the White King, yeah, just a little bit more health for that sucker there. One of the things that I think that maybe could have been played a little bit differently here by the Vampire Counts player, I don't think he's going to lose it, but was a very dicey situation, was that he took half of his army and went around chasing these units that were running away, and allowed this kind of large mass here that was fighting the Giants to start crumbling because there weren't enough guys in support. Should have definitely moved all those guys in there at the same time to get these Giants down as fast as possible.
Yeah, these Giants are really doing work right now, but one is about to fall. And yeah, they're up against all these Cryptors, but if we have an overcast Nehek, it should, on this blob, it should be the VC win. Oh, the lightning again.
Yeah, here it is. All right, so yeah, the lightning again, good hits, of course. The Graveguard pulling out of that fight, I'm not exactly sure why they want to come over here and try to kill that Exalted Hero. But, I guess that's the mission they're going to try to accomplish. Maybe Manfred will finish that job off. 1 Giant routing, but 2 Giants still left.
Yeah, the Giants are pretty healthy, but one of them is down to about half HP. However, these Crypt Horrors, one of them is done, and there's another that's pretty much done as well. What we have left is... Oh, there is that White King, which is going to be instrumental here. It can dish out quite the damage against the Giants, and one of them falls as it routes. It's killed by Manfred.
Well, I think another thing that we have to remember as well here is that they have the Blood Knights available. The Vampire Counts still have the Blood Knights available, and they will do very, very significant damage to these Giants as long as they have a little bit of help from their friends.
Oh, what's this Cane Wraith doing here? All the way over there, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's a victory for Avocadius.
All right, yeah, it is a victory for Avocadius here. Is it? Oh, yeah, because he did end up taking out those Giants. The 4 Chaos Marauders, I don't think enough to sit under those Giants to keep them in play.
No, I mean, Chaos is not as good as Greenskins against Vampire Counts, really.
Sure. I mean, it's... Sorry, say that again?
No proper support, as you mentioned before. The Chaos Marauders just don't really cut it, and the Chaos Spawn. Chaos Knights, I mean, yeah, they're pretty decent units, Chaos Spawn and Chaos Knights.
Sure.
But they're not gonna help you in the main fight that
Certainly.
much. I mean, they're not gonna make up for how weak the Chaos Marauders are, really.
Yeah. I think that's very, very true. Not going to be able to make up for that. And, you know, I think if you're going for this kind of giant style, especially if you're getting 3, not 2 giants, but 3 giants, I think you really got to commit to supporting these giants. Because it's kind of like the Death Star. These giants can kind of win the battle on their own as long as they have just a little bit of support kind of milling around under them. And, you know, Chaos Spawn and Chaos Knights are not support. They're hammer units. And so, you know, kind of leaving those giants out to dry as the Chaos Marauders do run away too fast.
Yeah, I mean, if he took away the Chaos Spawn at least and added like some beefier melee infantry units, might be better for him for sure, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I do think so too. Let's see what's going on here. Let's Saros. Why does the ESL appear